Hello and welcome back. So, we are on day 2 of the Sacred Mother series. Today and each day, we're going to be walking through the sacred path through the many faces of Mother and what shows up for us. Not just the nurturing light mother, but the fierce protectors, the shadow weavers, and even these midwives of transformation. And today, we are going to honor and explore the archetype of the protector mother. So the protector mother says, "My strength shields what is sacred, and my love dares to say no." So the protector mother is very fierce. She's bold, she's unyielding when it comes to what matters most. She defends her loved ones, her dreams, and her truth with unwavering courage. So when you can think of the protector mother, this is kind of those mama bears that come in and they say no. Or you see the memes online where there's like the mama lion is like, "You are not going to touch mine and my loved ones." you know. So she teaches that love does not always look like softness. It does not always look like the nurturing mother. And that's the beauty of these different archetypes, right? It sometimes looks like drawing that line in the sand, standing in the fire, or fighting for space to breathe. So this can either be what she is doing for herself or what she is doing for those that she mothers as well. So her greatest wisdom is knowing when to shield and when to release, allowing others to find their own strength. So her gift is the protection that empowers, not the protection that cages. So sometimes that protection can get a little bit overbearing. And when the protector mother goes into more of her shadow side, this is when things like control, overprotection, the helicopter moms, sometimes people call them, right? This is when that protection is stifling the growth of the person you are protecting or the growth of yourself out of fear. So it's when fear comes in and says, well, this could happen, that could happen, and that's the motivation of the protection versus I am creating a sacred container. When she's in balance, she's creating this beautiful sacred container, which is that balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine, right? Where she's creating this sacred container for all that she holds near and dear. And this container is what says, like, this is going to benefit you, this is not. This is going to protect you, this is going over the line. So the protector mother is really a fierce guardian of what matters. So she's the shield, she's the boundary, the voice that says no with love and clarity. So she's the one that says, honey, mm-mm. So you might be running all over the place. Or maybe this is, when you talk about mothering friends and a friend is like, I'm doing all this stuff, and you're the one who's like, maybe not, like maybe look at it from this perspective and creating that protection and that shield of maybe icky choices, right? Less savory choices that people can make. But again, when the protector mother goes into her shadow side, this is when she has a hard time releasing that control and can be really stifling. So when her desire to protect turns into the fear of letting go. So this is also when thinking about like when kids are in different stages of growing, or even maybe you were mothered by a protective mother who had a lot of fear, a lot of anxieties about the world, and was really overprotective of you, and then had this hard time of coming into your own personal power and into your own space, right? Because she was stifling. So the misconception of the protective mother is, yes, that her protection is stifling and controlling, and she has to, no, it's my way or the highway. That's the misconception. Her protection is not controlling. It's creating the safety and it's creating the containers for you to flourish, right? And so it's interesting because when I was thinking about the protective mother, the first thing that came into mind when I'm thinking of stones and crystals and how I'm going to create these talismans or these pieces that represent the protector mother, I was instantly drawn to things like tiger's eye, obsidian, onyx, black tourmaline, pyrite, maybe not black tourmaline, more like the pyrite kind of things. And so it was really like, I call it the fierce protector. So we have the fierce protector bracelet, where we have this big nugget right here, because I'm on both platforms of the tiger's eye and the pyrite. But then we also have obsidian, copper rutile. I don't know if you could see the rutile in there, is unbelievable. It's gorgeous. And then we also have citrine and tiger iron in here, where iron and tiger's eye form at the same time. So these pieces are going to be very strong, protective kind of energies. This strength, this container, this sort of fierceness, the mama bear. And I have a mama bear necklace I'm going to show you. And this is the Fierce Protector Amplifier. This is nice because it has a little bit smaller profile. I know a lot of you like those amplifier bead sizes. And then we also have the bigger bracelet. So you could even stack them like this if you want. But these really represent the Fierce Protector Mama. So then I have the mala, right? Look at this giant tiger eye, gorgeous faceted nugget. I am so excited. This mala is intense. So tiger eye is an interesting one for me because I actually can't wear tiger's eye very much because I'll get a headache. But I know people who are like, tiger's eye fires me up. I love my tiger's eye, and it's their favorite stone. This one has smoky quartz, obsidian, pyrite, and tiger's eye in it. So very strong. This one is like, I am stepping into my power and I am stepping into my strength. And then, I had to make a mama bear necklace. So I found this artist on Etsy who does hand-carved wood pendants, and he had this bear. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how perfect is this? So these are upcycled from old instruments, and I'll show you the length of this one. So the bear necklace has a chain on it so that you can also adjust the length on it. I can't quite get it. I put it on backwards. Hold on. So anyways, I won't put it on right now. This one has obsidian and then smoky quartz and tiger eye, and then the bear on the bottom of it. Love this one. Now, as I was designing, I thought there is a little bit different energy here to the protector mother. So yes, while this protector mother is the mama bear, the fierce protection, do not mess with me and mine kind of energy. And also I will keep you in your place so that you are not in danger, right? But there's this other sort of protection where it felt like this divine protection, this divine guidance. So this protection is, I'm going to guide you so that you don't fall into these traps of fear and scarcity and fear, scarcity, anxiety, and things like that come up for when fear creeps in, when we don't feel protected, when we don't have that safe container. And so it was really about that safe container, and this is one of the pieces. So I'm calling these divine protection. I am wearing it, and I'm like, I might have a hard time selling it. So this is actually turquoise from an antique necklace that I've had for 10 years. And I got this necklace from, I don't even remember where, but it's genuine turquoise. You can see it there. And then it's got coral in it and lapis lazuli, and then these Tibetan beads as well that I got at a bead show that I was at. So this one is called Divine Protection, and it's got the lapis lazuli, coral, turquoise, and clear quartz. So this is a really powerful healing energy that I'm going to display for you / wear right now because I'm obsessed with it. And then the bracelets to match are here, and I combined the lapis lazuli, clear quartz, and the turquoise. And then we have some different Tibetan beads here that have more of the pewter rather than the brass, and those have lapis inlay in them. And this is the bigger bracelet, but it's got this bigger nugget of lapis lazuli on there. And lapis lazuli is known as the ancient stone because it's revered in ancient civilizations all across the world, in all different areas of the world. Now this one, I haven't made a mala like this in a while, and I'm gonna bless and release her reluctantly because I love it so much. So this is the Divine Protector Mama. And this one has a big Tibetan bead on it with beautiful inlays of coral, turquoise, lapis lazuli, and magnesite. And then I put this little sacred knot charm on the tassel. And then it also has these beads, these Tibetan beads here. I'll show you over here too. This piece is something. I could just wear this mala. Melissa, I thought of you when I was making this. I was like, I think Melissa would like this one. It's funny because when I was designing these ones, I was, the Protector Mother had all the fierceness and everything. And then, so when I'm designing, I get these kind of divine, I don't know, I call them divine downloads, or, like this guidance that's coming that's like my intuition, my guides are like, there's a little bit different energy that you're missing here with this protection. And it's soft, it's gentle, but it's fierce at the same time, right? And so This is kind of what was born out of that. And then I kept seeing these beads because I bought these beads a while ago and I've had them for a while, the Tibetan ones. And I was like, I keep getting these flashes of this image of this antique jewelry that I've seen. So I was Googling, like, what is the powerful combination with lapis and turquoise? And then lapis, turquoise, and coral came up. I was like, that's right. And then I went and got this bead and was like, okay, here it is. I'm obsessed with this piece. Thank you, Tina. Yes, I love semi-precious stone jewelry. That's what we specialize in here. So, the protective mother, let's just recap what she is all about so that we don't have any mistakes here. Not mistakes, or I should rather say misconceptions of who this protective mother is. So she is fierce, she is bold and unyielding when it comes to what matters to her most. She defends her loved ones, her dreams, and her truth with unwavering courage. So she steps into this truth. And as she does that, though, she has this grounded stability to her because there's this confidence, and her greatest wisdom is knowing when to shield and when to release. So she is there saying, yes, I will protect you and I will let you fly. She will stand in the fire and she will fight for your space and hers to breathe, right? So remembering that when she's in her shadow, she can be kind of controlling and overprotective and stifling growth, but mostly that's out of fear. So when we can stay grounded and stay in that confidence, we can embody the protective mother and be that mama bear who fiercely defends and also gently holds. So thank you so much for being here. When we're talking about protective mother, let's just ask the one question: what in my life needs me to stand stronger and say, this is sacred? So that's my closing thought for you to think about. What in my life needs me to stand stronger and say, this is sacred? So tomorrow we will be continuing the Sacred Mother series, which I'm loving. And tomorrow we are diving deeper into the shadow side of the mother. So what does it look like when that mother shows up in a way that's not always super constructive? So we are going to be talking about the devouring mother. She is the weaver of sovereignty. So we can sit and we can go, oh, the devouring mother, these are all the bad things, but let's look at what can come from that. So join me tomorrow, and also check out moxiemalls.com, our Mother's Day selection. All the pieces that I showed you here today and yesterday are on the website, and I'd love for you to check them out. Thanks so much. Bye.